Transylvanian legend. Before he was a nightmare we called Nosferatu, he was a man whose name was forgotten by history. Some whispered it was Count Orlok. Others said it was a name too cursed to be spoken. Born in the late 15th century, in a crumbling fortress deep in the Carpathian Mountains, he was a child of cold stone and superstition. His family, minor nobility, ruled a land where the peasants feared the night and crossed themselves at the cry of wolves. From his earliest days, the boy showed no warmth. His skin was pale as candle wax, his eyes sunken and black-rimmed as touched cold even in summer. He was frail, but possessed a sharp, unsettling intelligence, fascinated by the mysteries of death and decay. As he grew, he became obsessed with conquering mortality itself. He scoured ancient texts brought by traders from the East, scrolls that spoke of dark rituals and entities that fed not on food, but on life itself. In secret chambers beneath his ancestral castle, he conducted rituals, spilling blood, whispering to unseen forces, and offering sacrifices to the abyss. The villagers began to vanish. Animals were found drained of life. Rumors spread like wildfire the young noble had made a pact with the devil. One storm-choked night, when thunder split the sky and the forest shuddered with wind, he performed his final ritual. Alone in the candlelit crypt, he recited an incantation to grant him eternal life. But eternity came with a terrible price. A shadow rose from the darkness then, skeletal and whispering. It offered him immortality, but not as a man. He accepted without hesitation. As lightning struck the tower above, his heart stopped beating, his veins froze, and his soul was torn from the world of the living. He awoke in silence, changed forever. His reflection vanished from mirrors. Sunlight burned his flesh, and his hunger was no longer for bread or wine, but for blood. Nosferatu was born. The transformation twisted his body as much as his spirit. His head grew bald and gleaming like bone. His ears sharpened to points. His nose became hooked, and his teeth grew into long, rodent-like fangs. His fingers stretched into impossible lengths, ending in black claws, and his shadow seemed to move even when he stood still. Nosferatu abandoned his name and his humanity, retreating into the castle's depths. He was a creature neither man nor beast then, grotesque, forever hungry, and forever alone. Centuries passed. Kingdoms rose and fell while he slept in coffins filled with the cursed earth of his homeland. From time to time, hunger drove him to awaken. When he fed, he brought plague and death in his wake. Rats followed him wherever he went, symbols of the pestilence that mirrored his own corruption. In the 19th century, he rose once more, drawn by whispers of new lands across the sea, places untainted by superstition where he could feed unnoticed. Taking the name Count Orlok, he arranged the purchase of an abandoned house in the town of Wisborg. A foolish man named Hutter came to finalize the deal. Blind to the danger, Nosferatu greeted Hutter with that dreadful stillness, speaking in slow, cold tones that carried centuries of darkness. When Hutter accidentally cut his finger, the Nosferatu eyes gleamed with an ancient animal hunger, and the curse was renewed. As Nosferatu journeyed to Wisborg, he carried his coffins filled with the sacred soil. Wherever his ship docked, the crew sickened and died, their bodies pale and lifeless. When the ship finally drifted into harbor, no one alive remained aboard, only crates crawling with rats and a single shadow its narrow streets, silent as mist, drawn to a young woman named Ellen, whose pure heart he craved. But Ellen had learned the truth from old texts. Only a woman pure of soul, who willingly offered herself to him until the first light of dawn could destroy the vampire. She invited him into her room, knowing it meant her death. As Nosferatu leaned over Ellen, his hideous face hovering in the candlelight, she did not scream. He drank deeply, lost in his eternal hunger, unaware that the sun was rising. The first rays of dawn touched his bald head, and he froze in horror. His skin began to smoke, his flesh crumbled to dust, and by the time the town awoke, the monster was gone. Only a faint outline of Nosferatu's form remained burned into the floorboards. Nosferatu's ashes scattered into the wind, but his legend endured. Some say Nosferatu never truly died, that the shadows themselves absorbed him, keeping his spirit alive wherever fear of the night persists. Some say that when the moon is full and rats gather near old ruins, you can still see Nosferatu's shape in the darkness, tall, hunched, and bald, his long fingers reaching for the living, and forever cursed by